A person who thinks all the time has nothing to think about except thoughts. So, he loses touch with reality and lives in a world of illusions. By thoughts, I mean specifically chatter in the skull, perpetual and compulsive repetition of words, of reckoning and calculating. I'm not saying that thinking is bad. Like everything else, is useful in moderation. A good servant, but a bad master. And all so-called civilized peoples have increasingly become crazy and self-destructive because through excessive thinking they have lost touch with reality. That's to say, we confuse science with the real world.
This is the beginning of meditation.
Most of us would have rather money than tangible wealth, and a great occasion is somehow spoiled for us unless photographed. And to read about it the next day in the newspaper is oddly more fun for us than the original event. This is a disaster. For as a result of confusing the real world of nature with mere science, we are destroying nature. We are so tied up in our minds that we've lost our senses. Time to wake up. What is reality? Obviously, no one can say because it isn't words. It isn't material, that's just an idea. Reality is
The point cannot be explained in words. I'm not trying to put you down. It's an expression of you as you are. One must live. We need to survive, to go on. We must go on.
Good morning. Howdy doody. Another great day in the market, isn't it? Is it just not splendid? Alright, let's switch over. Day went good so far. Woke up at an appropriate time. I think like 8:20 to be exact. Which is a good change of pace from waking up you know, at 10 o'clock at night and then powering through. But let's switch over. Hola! I don't think I've taken off this sweater for like 3 days. That's a lie. I've taken it off. All right. But I always put it back on. It's just it's a good one. It's great. What's it to you? But how you doing, MD? MD, WS? With all the 2-letter names. Who's being quoted? That was Alan Watts. I put the song on the playlist. It should be the bottom one. If you'd like it. I don't like dubstep's not always I don't know what you would call that. I don't know if that's dubstep or not, but Alan Watts for the win every time. Does crypto still exist? I think so. I think it does. But Fishington, you have to go that way. But let's go ahead and hop right into it. So I've marked out some of the important levels that are relevant to me. Obviously, we have 33K, the previous one that I was looking at to get back above, which obviously things have shifted in a different direction across the board. We have 25,400-ish, and we have 20,016, 20,018 that we need to get back above. You can see we came back up to retest it. We still need to get back above it though. I guess on this chart it's a little bit higher, but I know on particularly BTC USD on Bybit it is about 2020, 2030, and that's what I'm using for my conditional. I did not get wicked in on this. I think I was maybe $1 short. It touched it, but I did not get wicked in on that, fortunately. So right now I am in a position on Ethereum, which we talked about yesterday. Ethereum's levels are accordingly 1012, 1688, and 2150. Mark those out for you. So as long as we're back above one of these levels, I will be long. And I know the fear, uncertainty, doubt is in everybody's minds. I know things have not been going smoothly across the board last couple of weeks, but I'm sticking to my strat. The bottom will come someday. I will be there, and I will be holding a long from it. Once again, for anybody that didn't see it the other day, a simple reminder of how the 3K bottom from the 2017 bull market worked itself out. Same exact ordeal. We had A coming down, B coming up, C coming down, and you can see a tinier structure within that. You could have gotten a position off of either or. Obviously, the higher one would have been stopped out a couple more times, but either or would have had much large payoff in the future. And then probably sometime around here would have been the point where you could have had a hedge short and then a hedge long if we came back above that level and played it up further to the upside. But I'm not Nostradamus, don't know where it's going whatsoever. I am a simple man playing simple levels as they go. Let me check on LTC today. Actually, I think I might take a trade on LTC if it gets back above 54.27. Well, 54.34. Let me see what it's like on... I might have to... I don't know. Nah, I don't think so, because I would have to throw some more money into USDT, which... How large is my position size right now? That's the question, because if it doesn't soak up too much... my account is currently sitting at... 3,600. Let's go ahead and pop that in, 3,600. Okay, so $216 would be the margin size. That ain't too shabby. I'll take 300 out of BTC. Put in some USDT. Don't transfer, exchange. little bit more than that. All right. Did you see that USDT was at 0.92? That happens all the time. It just means that people are exchanging their USDT for BTC or Ethereum or whatever else might be. It's natural progression as the levels get hit that people are going to start DCAing en masse. Not getting depegged, don't worry, little bottom. All right, let's go ahead and throw in a conditional on LTC. Oh, that is not what I wanted. LTC USDT. All right, so we're looking for 54.40 is what I'll throw in my conditional. Oh, shoot. Not what I want. Alright, that will have to do because actually I'm being lazy. I'll just do it normally. Alright, so 216, 15% stop loss. 20. Kidding me. 20, 40. $32. I'll go ahead and throw this in the Discord group real quick. Now, I mean, obviously, like, listen, I know that this could obviously still come back down here. Now, what might not be a bad position, I do see on the higher, I mean, this is a 4-hour time frame here, so this isn't a small time frame whatsoever. And there is this position here that is an availability. There's nothing on BTC or Ethereum that screams the same thing. I do see them. I see these ones, but they are not as distinguished as this one right here. So that's the main reason why I'm not going to be taking those on LTC, Ethereum and BTC. But that one might not be a bad idea. Actually, I don't know if I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep LTC as an option for a short to the downside, and I'll keep Bitcoin and Ethereum as my long plays, just in case. That's what I'll do. William, I did apply to the Bybit tournament, but I never got a message back. I guess I'm just not a big enough channel for them to want to have me in the group. So, this is what it is. I'm not offended. They are. They're missing out. You kidding me? I have 100% adopted the ABC pattern. Thank you so much. I just caught a 1:17 restored ratio on GBPJPY. I guess that's is that British pounds versus the Japanese yen? I don't know what the first part is. But nice, man. Fantastic. But that's what I'll do. I'm going to go ahead and throw this in the Discord group. Okay. Looking at the monthly chart, 14K looks kind of right on the cards, no? Well, I mean, it's close to one of the supports, but to say that it's going to dump there is kind of saying that you're clairvoyant. If we look at some of the supports here, obviously we have 28,800 as one of the major ones. The next one following would be about 16.3. The next one following that would be about 9.9. Next one following that, I would say, 8.1. And then obviously coming down to some of these lower ones, such as these. I mean, this is a huge pocket area. If price ever did get back in this region, I don't know if it could break through it, but if it did, that would be kind of bad. What was the starting capital? It was 1,000, and we got it up to 7K because we shorted 45,300 all the way down to 27,000. Made some really good dollars, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to capitalize on this last short. I was on the long side. Sometimes you make the wrong decision. It's just simply unlucky. So, I count my blessings. My account was at a K. I'm still up 2.6. So. I don't get why everyone thinks BTC will bottom soon and bear market will reverse. Historically, the other bear markets didn't last for months. Well, I mean, if you really want to think about it like that, I mean, think about this, all right? From the top of this downtrend, I mean, we really didn't break it for 446 days. If you want to start from the top of this one, we didn't really break it until 1,000 days. So realistically, this is the top of the bear market. Not this one, this one. If we put in a higher high, that doesn't constitute a bear market. All right, so realistically, we've only been in this bear market for 224 days. It's not a whole lot of time. And if that is enough to shake you out of your positions and think that the bear market, the market doesn't have to go any specific amount of time. Me, I'm bullish on Bitcoin. I'll play the bottoms as price starts to solidify in certain support areas. I'm not concerned about where it will bottom, but I will be there when it happens. Oh, you called me Kate. Who's Kate? What are your thoughts on trading on the weekends? Obviously, if you're trading like lower liquidity coins, it could be problematic. I don't shy away from trading on the weekends. If I have a setup and that setup is activated during the weekend, it doesn't matter to me. I'm not a 1 second time frame scalper taking 10 trades a day. I might get stopped out 10 times in a day on the same trade setup, but to me that is one trade, just 10 losses for now. Does it make sense? But let me go ahead and throw in this conditional here, because otherwise, listen. Now that one did just get. Oh wait, it's about to get activated in a second. Let's see. I have $239 here. If I get stopped out, I'm gonna lose 15% of that. So I should have enough liquidity left over if we are gonna dump back down past this. Actually, I think. No, I didn't get entered in on that, did I? No, I'm not short BTC. So I decided to take my profits based off of the market giving me clues whether or not I should ultimately hedge, meaning like that's my new bias. But I don't take profits until the market shows me. So a really good example of this was back here. All right, let me go down to a smaller time frame. All right. So I took a long position off of this ABC right here. All right. I hedged a couple positions, at the top of this one right here, top of this one right here. But ultimately, I did not take profits on this long until the market gave me a new place of confidence to go long from. Once we put in this C wave, meaning we got a lower low, that's when I took my profits on my long. I did not take them at the very tippy top, because how am I supposed to know it's gonna be the tippy top? But now, if we happen to get back above this level, I could have gone long again if the market was going to continue retracing to the upside. But at the same time, I had a hedge position once we came back down below this. Technically this one, but this was the setup I was playing into. If you are not willing to hold your trades, you're going to get hurt. All right, it's like the short from there. If I did not hold that short all the way down to here, all right, I don't know that it's going to go all the way down to there, and I didn't know it was going to go down there that fast. But I gave the market an opportunity. All right, I had a good position. I held on to it. I made a lot of money. And that way, if I do have failures, I can offset them and still stay in the positives. If I would have taken short-term profits on that trade, which was such a good entry, it would have put me in such a bad position once we got down to these levels if I would have missed any of these trades. So let the market play out. I know it gives you sweaty fingers when you're holding a trade and it's moving sideways. It's tough. It's tough. No, I haven't been hitting the gym. I've been trying to eat a little bit better. I mean, I've been eating nothing but steak for the past couple of weeks. So I would say like about a week now. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and stick to what I put in the Discord here. I'm gonna go in the short entry here. So we'll do trigger price. We'll do 51.13. 216. 2. And we'll leave LTC for the birds. Yep, I got a Discord. My portfolio was down 50% on my spot assets. Should I be holding it forever now? That's up to you. Alright, the way that I play my hold, my spot account, I hold it. I trade on my derivatives. And I don't have to worry about holding anything because if we get stopped out, we get stopped out. Now, I am trading a lot more inverse perpetual now. That's because we're starting to hit supports. I don't know which one's going to hold. I don't know when the bear market's going to end. But I'm willing to play it. Raj. Don't know how to pronounce your last name. If I do, I'm pretty sure I'll offend you. I don't know if that's how you pronounce your first name, but I appreciate you being here. Said, hello, sir. I'm from India. Hola. I don't ever move my stop loss in a profit. The only time where I would do that is if we have an A and a B, and the completion of my C would give me the ability to hop out of an already trade. So, once again, that example up here. All right, I would move my stop loss here if I was holding this long. Right, because this gave me a new place of confidence to go long from. If we put in a lower low, then that gives me a new setup. I can go ahead and let go of the original long and play this one if it does come to fruition. If not, I'll let the market tank. In more bearish conditions, have you ever tried playing the rejection from the A? No. All right, if I'm gonna get into a downtrending trade in a major downtrend, it's going to be from a short ABC. All right, so technically, I could have held this one right here. All right, I didn't because that was not my bias. My bias was to the upside. All right, right here, we had, this one wasn't as strong. It definitely wasn't a major ABC, which I'm typically used to promoting, but you could have held that one. LTC, you had a decent sized one right here. All right, so there was positions to get into. All right, that's why if we do happen to come back below this A, I'll be shorting LTC. But otherwise, all right, we're sitting at the cusp of a couple different setups, particularly this one on Ethereum, which is already active. Would you mind explaining the Elliott wave in combination with the fibs? I don't really do Elliott wave that much anymore, to be honest with you. In terms of like trying to project where the market's gonna go, it's not a good idea. Gets your head wrapped up in too many falsehoods. Hey Kite, never traded on inverse perpetual. How is that? What's the difference? So on inverse perpetual, unfortunately, you can't open two different trades, a long and a short, on the same asset on the same account. You'll have to use sub accounts if you're going to go all inverse perpetual. But typically what I'll do is if I'm going to have a short and a long on Bitcoin at the same time, I'll just siphon off some of that into USDT to take that another trade, which would be much short. But other than that, with inverse perpetual, if we are at a bottom, not only will you be making money off of the trade from the bottom, going to the upside, all right, well, which would be adding physical Bitcoin to your account, which is gaining value because Bitcoin's going up in value. You're also gaining value off of the account itself because the Bitcoin in your account is used as collateral. With USDT, the main draw to that is the ability to hedge easier. And if we are going to see more downside, you're protecting yourself from it. But if we see upside and you miss a trade, you're not gaining anything from it either. Inverse perpetual is one of the reasons why I was able to take that $100 account and turn it into 100,000. All right, because realistically, all I need to do is make about 30K, and then if the market goes up another 200%, I have 90K. I didn't even have to touch it. That's why it's really good for bull markets. No, you don't buy spot. Well, technically you do, but it's just in your holdings. So like if I go up here to assets, go to derivatives, I'm holding 2.4K worth of BTC, $854 worth of ETH, and then a little bit in USDT in order to take this short on LTC if it does happen to come to fruition. Sweet. Right after this live stream, I'll go ahead and accept it. Mr. Shylon. Okay, do you not see the opposite to go long on LTC? Yes, I do. I do. We talked about that at the beginning of the live stream. At first, I even had a conditional to go long on LTC at 54.40, 54.17, depending on which chart you're looking at. But I decided to go ahead and use my long on BTC and Ethereum as the position to the upside. But LTC is the only one on the charts that has a legitimate short entry based off of structure. So I know you're going to be like, but there is one. They are too small of a time frame in order for me to say that I want to take that. I get that there's an uptrend, downtrend, uptrend. I understand. It is too small of a time frame. All right, I rather take something that's a little bit more solid. All right, you see how much more price action is in this? It would be a much stronger move, in my opinion. All right, so I'd rather have LTC as my short option, BTC and Ethereum as my long options. David's in my Discord group. We talk from time to time. Love David a lot. He's a good dude. What's up, Kite? Hello, how you doing? I'm just trying to position myself. It's like a game of chess. Like I said, I see that LTC has a long position available pretty soon. I understand that. But so does Ethereum and BTC. And I'd rather take longs on BTC and Ethereum than LTC. But don't get me wrong, I like LTC. A lot of people are really negative about it. I like it. I think we're just not far enough along in adoption for LTC to even make sense right now. That's why it really doesn't perform as spontaneously as something like, Ethereum does during the bull markets, because you have to think about what LTC's use is going to be. All right, theoretically, let's say that BTC gets to the point where it's worth $10 million, all right, or even $100 million. Who knows? All right, the Satoshis are going to be starting to get less and less divisible. All right, so like let's say you need one Satoshi to equal 50 cents. All right, once it gets to the point where like you can't even get below $1 with a Satoshi, you need something else to step in, and LTC I think makes theoretical sense. It's much further down the line, but look at gold versus silver. Silver's like what, $30 versus gold's $1,300-$1,400. So it's that same scenario. And I know that analogy, people don't like it, but someday it will make sense. You see, that's where you're wrong, viral video. All right, I'm not trying to short LTC while BTC is making money from longs. All right, I'm not trying to, double dip. All right, if I do not get a short on LTC and everything rips to the upside, I'm good. All right, if BTC does not rip to the upside, then I should theoretically get the short on LTC and make money that I'm losing on everything else there. I'm not trying to make the most amount of money theoretically possible from every single trade on the board. It's giving myself options for revenue if something else does not happen that I prefer. That's all. All right. Like I said, not trying to double dip. I'm not trying to have two trades be in profit that are diametrically opposed at the same time. I'm keeping my risk at about like 0.9%. I'll check it out for you. NSE. Is it just called the Nifty 50? Man, whoever came up with that name is just absolutely fantastic person. The Nifty 50. Oh, it has a nice setup on it. I think in the past when we looked at this, we were looking at this ABC right here, but that ended up turning into an A. We have a B and we have a C right here. So, I mean, this is pretty stacked. Like in terms of like multi-part structures, this is typically exactly what you want to see. You have an ABCA, a fast B, and an ABCC right here. So, I mean, this area right here in particular, if you get back above that, that's really good for the market. Now, unfortunately, right now we have lost support of that region. So if we do happen to take another tumble down, it's probably going to fall back down to about 1,400. Just from, support levels here. And I mean, you really don't have much more after that until you start getting down to these levels. Duper, what's going on, man? I'm doing good. I had my sous vide steak today. I woke up 8:20, popped it in the sous vide for 4.5 hours and ate it up. Then hopped on Livestream. I mean, I'm getting pretty good at it. Just the whole thing. At first, the first couple ones I made were kind of bland in terms of just like meat flavor, but I've upgraded. I got some good seasonings now, got some garlic powder, getting better at basting without hurting myself. So we're doing it, Ma. Probably won't be on too long today. My nieces and nephews are over. I'm gonna go hang out with them, watch some movies, chill with some people on Discord. Does LTC have a fixed supply? I believe so. No, I haven't hit the gym lately. I've just been... so now theoretically that my sleep schedule is fixed, I can get back on my intermittent fasting schedule, because the past week, not conducive to intermittent fasting, but I'm going to hop back on it starting tomorrow and continue on, because fell off the wagon for a second. But now that I know like exactly how long I want to cook my steaks for, we should be good. And I mean, I'm spending about $20 per pound for those ribeyes that I cook, which it sounds like a lot, but considering the fact that I was ordering like $30, $40 worth of DoorDash a day, I can swing that pretty easily. No, I never lock my profit. The only time that I can lock my profit is if I have a hedge that is making up for the losses at a 1-to-1 ratio, as the as maybe like my long is failing. My health is definitely better than what it was, you know, about 2 or 3 months ago. Because I mean, 2 or 3 months ago, I was like 225. My heartbeat was out of control. And I mean, technically, like I still have some things to fix. Obviously, I'm still trying to lose a little bit of weight. I am also trying to sleep better, which, man, I don't know like what's wrong with my body. I think it's because I don't have a defined schedule, but at the same time, it's always been like this all my life, even with school. So, it is what it is. Techno way. Trying to catch me live so you can ask me something? Well, ask it, man. I appreciate you being here. I haven't completely stopped DoorDash, but I've stopped ordering it daily because, I mean, I've been eating like 20 ounces of meat a day. So I'm not really that hungry much of the time. So typically when I order DoorDash, it's only because my sister asked me to now. Trust no one. The hunt for Crypto King. Who's the Crypto King? A good documentary to watch? I can give you a faux documentary, which might not be your taste, but there's one called American Vandal, particularly season 2. And it's the type of show where you don't have to watch season 1, but it's like a documentary about like a crime, but it's meant to be funny. It's a good watch if that's your type of humor. Check it out. I mean, The Boys season 3 is out. If you guys need something to watch, it's very, very gory, but it's a good one. You can look up a documentary called Samadhi if you're into that kind of stuff. Well, I mean, I don't even think you need to see it. I think at the end of that statement, I mean, it's just a fact. You know, a strict sleep schedule does improve your health greatly. Absolutely. Maybe I do need to get back in the gym, you know, wear my body down a little bit so that way I'm, you know, more eager to go to bed than just sitting in a chair. I did film the first part of my, hopefully, transformation video probably about a week ago. It's about 25 minutes long. Because I wanted to go really in depth on how like I felt, not just here's a picture of me fat, here's a picture of me fit. I wanted to really talk about like why. That way, if that video ever does get finished, you know, the 2-parter, you can see like the perspective of like this is an entirely different person talking versus what they were before. Kite, when was the last time you watched Karate Kid? I've never seen Karate Kid. I've seen the one with Jaden Smith in it. Obviously, like, I've seen clips, but I've never seen the full movie. At least I don't think. Can you clarify, what do you mean by you don't lock profit? Does it mean that if you have one BTC long and if the ABC is forming to short, you open a short? No, I don't even short. So let's say that I had $1,000 worth of margin at 10x long, then I would probably have somewhere around like maybe 1,000, maybe a little bit more, maybe 1,100 with a short. And if the short is going into profit and the long is going out of profit, they're making up for each other's losses, basically locking in the profit if the long was to completely fail. And then hopefully it would probably push past where the long originally was, if that is the case. Like I said, I'm here for security. I'm not here for making the most amount of money legitimately possible in every single which way. I'm trying to make sure I have the best setup for security. Profit will come if you prioritize security, right? The other one is just greed. You prioritize greed. That's how you get yourself in trouble. What's your take on the ABC coming back to the buy/sell place? Let's say if ETH came back to your red line, now would that too be a buy? Yeah. All right, because if we come back down below that red line and I get stopped down and we come back above it, I'll buy again. I did that the other day. I didn't do like a full 2 day. I think I did about 39, 36 hours. But unfortunately, I was sitting in a Wawa parking lot waiting for my sister to go to the hospital. And it was just Wawa was calling my name. Went in there. I went a little bit too hard in the paint, to put it lightly. I mean, I went all out. Got a quesadilla, 2 things of cookies and cream Dippin' Dots. I went crazy, but it was decent. It was good. All right, I'm sorry, Techno. Do you think the ABC strategy will lose its edge now that more people are using it? No, not really. All right, because you got to think with something like BTC, the amount of people that need to adopt a specific strategy would be phenomenal in order to outweigh the pros of it. All right, there's so many people trading BTC that are not using strictly ABC strategy. It would have to be an absorbent amount of money in order to make that happen. Absolutely crazy amount. I would love to say that me and David combined have that much reach to shift, more than 40% of the market to trade one way, but we just don't, and we never will, because there's so many people that just don't even want to think about that. The idea of getting stopped out 10 times in a row just demolishes their soul and their emotions. So if you can't handle it, you can't handle it. More for me. How many stop losses do you hit often those times? I don't know. There's no like average that I keep track of. Whatever the market does to me. Sometimes the market's gracious. It's a 1 and done, maybe 2 and done. But sometimes I get stopped out 8, 9 times. Shit sucks. What are you going to do? How are you going to predict that the market's going to do that? You can't. You just can't. That's why we keep the risk small, keep the R&R high. That way it outweighs those shitty times. Martin, greetings from Poland. Kite, love you, Livestreams. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. I aim to go to Poland one day to visit Wim Hof's retreat up in the mountains. Learn from the best. Put my heart and soul to the test. But I'm waiting for things to settle down a little bit before we go that far. Thumperman, howdy Kite. What would a good DCA strategy be to invest 10 to... You know how I feel about those types of questions, man. Can't give you... That's borderline financial advice. Alright. What would a good DCA strategy be to invest 10K? So as always, with any DCA strategy, it's all about building your money in pyramids. All right, so just envision the chart as a big pyramid. Okay, so you always put the least amount of money at the top supports and the most amount of money at the bottom supports. This is the most unsymmetrical pyramid, I know. All right, but then you mark out the supports. We have support here, support here, support here, 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 and here. Okay. So you might put up like 10% up here, you know, maybe 15% here, you know, like 30% here, and then the rest here. And then if we get down to here, but we never get back down to here, and we come back above this line, maybe you could have like some of your money as like conditional, where if we're above that, you continue to hold on to it. You know, like let's say you only got 70% of your money in the market by the time we hit these levels. All right, and then this one could act like a conditional. But with that other 30%, if we're above that line, you keep that other 30% in the market, but the other 70% you don't touch it because that's DCAs. And if we come back down below that line, you sell it off. See what I'm saying? You can treat it like that. Absolutely, Rivertown. There will always be failed breakouts. Now, here's the thing. You misphrased that, because failed breakouts are exactly what we want. All right, that's what an ABC is. An ABC is a failed breakout. All right, if the market's trying to push higher, we have an A, we have a B, we have a C. All right, the breakout would be if the C continued up through the sky, but we don't want that. And there's been thousands of times where we've had failed ABCs, but there's plenty of times where they do work out, and the R&R is so gosh darn high that it makes up for all of it. I'm living proof of it. It's definitely a tedious strategy, don't get me wrong, but I think any winning strategy would be. All right, because strategy worked phenomenally. All right, everybody and their mother would flock to it. I don't even catch every single move. There's times where I completely drop the ball, man. All right, and sometimes I just have to sit there and, you know, hate myself for it while everything continues to move up and hope to God that a new setup creates. But it is what it is. Long noob question. Why whales sell BTC at these low prices to push down? You can't really blame everything on the whales, man. Stuff's going to happen. We don't know what's going on. I don't know why they would sell. Now, part of the problem is this bull market compared to the other ones is such a derivatives-based market. All right, it's gonna happen. All right, because when you have derivatives, the market only needs to go such an amount in order to trigger kind of like an avalanche or a rocket ship. All right, so things move fast and violently towards one direction, and because of that overarching effect, it can cause even more slippage. So it is what it is. So I mean, I know Crown Crypto on his website, he has a leverage ratio where like it tracks how many people are using leverage. That definitely needs to come down in order for, because people are gambling. People are just throwing money at the market willy-nilly with no rhyme or reason. And it's really causing a lot of hectic price action. Well, it's good for me. Don't get me wrong. But, you know, there's times like this where I make the wrong decision. Count comes down 50%. It hurts. It hurts so much. But we keep cruising. Isn't the ABC just a W pattern? Yeah. All right, but it's the availability to have a definitive trigger point. All right, because if we were just gonna, you know, not put in a lower low, I wouldn't know to take that trade. But for me, this gives me a definitive, if we are above or below this line, I am long or short. I mean, just long. I don't short if we just go past it. But I get what you mean, because theoretically what you would want is for it to go like that, which is a W. All right, but the initial setup is not a W, because how do you know that arm is going to come back up? No. I keep my chart as plain and simple and my mental as plain and simple as possible. All right, that way when time gets tough, I know exactly what I want to do and when I want to do it. There's a lot of people that are wrapping their brains in tinfoil right now, trying to come up with some rhyme or reason, looking at 1,000 different indicators, trying to plan out their next move beyond, the months that lie ahead. For me, ABC. All right, I don't need to think ahead. All right, now, not true. All right, I do think ahead a little bit in terms of like if we have an A and we have a B, I can theorize a C. All right, but that's pretty much as far as it goes. All right, like right here. All right, we can see downtrend, we can see uptrend, and I can theorize if we come back down below this level, we might continue down a little bit more, and that would create a larger. But that's as far as I really need to think there. Also, my other question, what made you share a profitable strategy with the public? I don't know. I mean, I started this YouTube channel with other strategies. I used Market Cipher at first. I shied away from that later on. I just like talking to people about the stuff I like. Just so happens that money's involved. And it's a shame to say, but like this strategy, like I said, there's some people that simply can't do it. All right. Either one, their overactive imaginations takes them down to the 1 second chart and they're taking ABCs that they find every 2 minutes. They waste away their account. I don't have to worry about those people. They're not going to be in the market long. All right. There's the people that get angry and upset because they got stopped out 3 times. Now they're not lowering their risk. They're actually increasing it because they want to make their money back because they're greedy. I don't have to worry about those people. They'll ruin themselves. All right. So I let the strategy weed out the weak. How do you know when the A finishes? No, you really can't. Because, I mean, if you're just in the A, I mean, you need to wait for a B and you need to wait for a C. So by the time you have your B, you should be able to see the pattern start to form at least 2 of the 3 parts. All right, like up here. All right. Gosh, let me move. All right, so we had a big downtrend coming from up here, and we had a uptrend. All right, so I can either go down further and put in an ABC right here, or if we maintain a higher low, then this can turn into an A, this could turn into a B, all right, and then we had an ABC right here, so if this is going to be the bottom of the B, I can take a long and wait for the C, and then instead of just a quick C wave, we had a long B wave into a C wave. Make sense? If you want the ultimate book on ABCs, which you're going to have to snort Adderall continuously in order to get through, look up Harmonic Elliott Wave, a case for modification of R.N. Elliott's impulse wave structure by Ian Copsley. It's a long name, and I just need an acronym next time. But I'm going to get going here pretty soon, guys. I think we've been streaming for... How long have we been streaming? About an hour. Around time. Daniel, did I just not say the entire name of the book? In the past, I would say it all the time. It's just the book is extremely hard to get through. There's a lot of information. They add too many complicated fibs to it. It just is. I ain't trying to discredit anybody, Daniel. Not in the slightest. Back to McDonald's? No, I can't even eat McDonald's. I like McDonald's, but the McDonald's near me, trash. I just don't get it. How one McDonald's can be absolutely fantastic and one can just be just absolutely terrible. How was your C pump you was waiting for? Well, I mean, so far so good on Ethereum, but we haven't got a triggered trade on BTC yet, but we have a alternative short trade if we do happen to dump more in the market off of LTC. Kite, can you please show me an example? Where do you hedge your long? Well, like if we had something like this, if we have an ABC, all right, and we had a long position, and then the market came back up like this, all right, I would short here. All right, now, depending on macro circumstances, I'll have a bias, which I hold, and then the hedge would simply be taking profit on, somewhere around like the 0.5, whichever one you want. All right, typically I aim for like the 0.5 to 0.382 region. Okay, do you like Dash Coin? Please be honest. I was very bullish on it at the beginning of the bull market in 2020, but I haven't really touched it much and haven't really heard much about it recently, so can't really give you a honest opinion. I know they've done good things. I don't know if it was Venezuela or Argentina, but Dash really helped them out. Got the day off, hoping to trade, but your music is putting me to sleep. I'm sorry. No, I'm not taking the small ass time frame short ABCs on BTC and Ethereum. All right. LTC has a nice structure for a short. That's the one I'm willing to take. Otherwise, I'll take the longs. Okay, at the moment, would you close a trade? At what moment would you close a trade? Like I said, if I have a alternative position to get into in terms of like, if I'm in a long, all right, and the market gives me a higher place of confidence to go long from, then I can take profit on my long and then take the new one if it does come to fruition. All right, but other than that, I'll get out of the trade if I'm stopped out. Now, if the market really moons or crashes and I'm in one of the respective positions, if we hit like a major macro low, like 28.8, and I'm in a short from 45.3, all right, I'll take my profit there because that's a strong support. All right, if we break it, that's not my problem. All right, because it is a strong support. We should always expect supports to remain support until they're not. All right, because then you're just confusing yourself. Things are solid until they're broken. Keep it simple, keep it stupid. Let the charts do the rest. Okay, why have the second charts and minute charts if you only look at 30-minute and over charts? Because I'm lazy. I just haven't changed this right here. I mean, I've had this one for probably like 2 years just because I was curious what it looked like. I don't even own that anymore because I just don't use it. All right, so there's your answer to that. All right, stop paying for the absolute premium version of TradingView because I don't really need access to the below 1 minute chart. And I don't ever use this 8 chart system. Yes. So the 3-hour stream with Ryan, it was when I was starting to come into my own in terms of like trying to figure out my risk management side of things and then finding a strategy to attach it to. That one worked well because it's very, very similar. All right. It created if this and that statement lines, and my strategy in terms of risk management was good. And then if I was to get along, I would hold on to it from a local low. It's essentially the same thing, just a little bit less real time. Yeah, so like if we had a, I'm answering you, Trade Noob. If we had an ABC and you got into a long position off of the ABC, and like let's say the market comes up, comes down, comes up, and now you would have a hedge short position from here. All right, so if you're like, okay, the market's probably going to dump all the way back down from here now because maybe we have a kind of like a B going on, and you think there's going to be a lower low C. All right, so now, in order to take profit on your long position, you'll need a new place of confidence to go long from if you're wrong about the market dumping. It's always about security, never about greed and trying to make the most amount of profit possible. All right, so I would probably take profit on my long once we put in a lower low, all right, because theoretically there was no place of confidence to go long from in all of this choppiness over here. All right, so once the market gives you a really, really good setup, all right, then if it is to come back above this line, it might even continue going up higher past this original top right here. All right, it's the same thing that happened a little bit ago. Just that one's a theoretical. I was bullish on Sushi during the bull market, but unfortunately they had so much hectic stuff going on with their team. It just didn't make sense to be bullish on anymore whatsoever. I liked their UI more than what's the other website? Uni? I don't know what that one was. Whatever the exchange website was that was the most popular. I liked their UI a lot better. Some of their, their stuff that they were doing was doing well. But unfortunately their team was just shit. Yeah, 30 minute, 1 hour, and 15 minutes typically what you're going to find me on. I'll use the daily and the 12-hour to find out what my macros are in terms of local highs and local lows, but that's about it. What about more data bars? If I need more data bars, I probably just need to go back to the daily time frame. All right, because if I'm looking that far back, the only thing that really matters is the macros anyways. So what am I going to do? Go down to the 1 second chart 10 years ago? It's just not going to... There's nothing on those for me. It's for the birds. Recession, maybe? Absolutely, man. I mean, it's kind of screaming recession, but you never know. I mean, like if we go back to, let's go to the NASDAQ. So I used the NASDAQ company to predict the recession. So a year ago, it was in March last year when I posted that video, I said once, we got to about 214, 213, that's when the market was going to crash. And I predicted that the bottom was going to be 74. All right, so technically if I am fully right, we're not even close. All right, but I will play the bottoms as they happen because there can always be a relief market. Well, I mean, like right here, this was the 2008 financial crisis. Big ABC top, big ABC bottom. Once the market recovered this low, you can see it tested support. That's when everything took off. So I'll keep on keeping on. With bigger account for hedge funds, will you make any change to ABC or the risk management, like lowering it? Probably just use larger stop losses and give up a little bit of the R&R. That's about it. Guy, do you like AVT? Never heard of AVT. Well, at least that ticker. What's the actual name? Can you check out Band when you get a chance? Thank you for the donation, by the way. Appreciate that. Go to a 1 hour. All right, so I mean, I can see you have an ABC position here. If the market can recover this low and maintain it. You've really, the most solid one that I can see is this one right here. All right. If you can get back above 297, that's the good one. I mean, shit, man, you had a good ABC top right here. That was textbook. ABC. Even within this, we had ABC. Boom. Hold that market drop like it was nothing. Nick, I love you too. Thank you, man. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and hop off for today. Just chill out. It's a good Sunday. And the grass is cut and it's nice and not even really that hot outside today. Let me check what the weather is. Let me make sure not to dox myself either. I assume, dude, Airbnb a house across from me. Just stare at me through a window. Don't do that. That's just not cool. It's 76 degrees outside today. It's fantastic. What do you mean? Global warming? Schmobal warming. That was a joke. All right. Someone's gonna get truly offended. What do you mean? It's actually a serious issue. Stop using straws. I appreciate that. And I mean, it's not even a choice anymore. You go to Starbucks, you have to drink through paper. I go to my favorite restaurant, I have to drink through paper. And I don't know if you noticed, but it doesn't taste good. That's all I'm saying. Are we really trading quality of life? Can I just like chop up my straws? Theoretically, like, we could just get all the straws in one big pile, melt them down, and bury them instead of putting them in the ocean. I'd rather do that, because paper straws suck. And if you have your own metal straw that you take to restaurants, who are you kidding? That is the most pompous shit you could do. I got this straw from Whole Foods. Oh, really, Becky? Okay. Before I start going crazy, let's go. All right, let's pick a song, do the thing. Everybody have a great weekend. Or if it's already Monday, I feel for you. I'm very sorry. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. We'll play something from Kai Strahl's Secret album. This one's always a good one. What's the shortest one we got here? Okay, that one's just a transition. We'll do apotheosis. Do that one. Right. Go ahead and do the thing. Once again, I appreciate everybody being here. Despite the market being absolutely terrible lately, I'm going through it just as much as everybody else. All right. I don't show my actual portfolio, but it hurts. It hurts. It hurts a lot. But all we can do is sit and wait. Because, I mean, if you're not here with the expectation of crypto being the best thing in the world, I don't even know why you're here. You're just here for a cheap gimmick trying to make some money really fast. Yeah, so good luck. But I'm here for the long run. I'm sure many of you are as well. So glad we have each other to be there for. All right, do the thing. Bye.
If I become someone else after this, trust me, it wasn't by accident. And I don't mean my soul will change, but the way I'm perceived will go through changes. The Greeks once said that in each sunset is a god that competes, some said, with the artist. And if that artist brought us a painting of the sunset, does that mean he caught him? And then he's viewed as more than a man is, cause he caught a god with a brush and a canvas. And does that take a toll on the paint? Did he catch a god or did God catch his paintbrush? Either way, he's exalted to an altar by the people, then he's brought to a blasphemous status to the pastors, where he becomes a god to the masses. The Renaissance. Of an artist to go from a man to be viewed as a goddess. I understand Ebenezer in front of a grave, wiping the frost off to reveal his name. Can destiny be tamed? Are we on tracks like whores or trains? Cause if my blood doesn't run red, then it's me being painted as Apollo in your sunset. And the average man can't understand this, so view me like Atlantis or ghosts in the pantry. I'm Poseidon, worshipped by the leeches, cause flow's violent, get your seasick. Transformed by the essence of the art, confused by man as a god. I wonder if Jesus encouraged the distinction, or if he was a man turned God once we deemed him. The painter, the demigod, wished he never painted anything he saw. Psychologically, it was glaring, being thought of as a god when his flesh was apparent. So he burned off his paintings, heart racing, lit a match to some gas in the basement. Started pacing his house engorged. He locked the doors, popped to the floor, heard the flames roaring. Started licking his toes and then his knees, and the pain ceased. And in the flame there was peace. He took a breath of his humanness as tears rolled down his burnt flesh. Gone were his earlobes, gone was his nose, and then his lips and his skin dripped off like the roads of a Venice trip. And this was it, his heart was right then, feeling most human, looking nothing like it.